Good morning, everyone. My name is Fong Cheol-kim from Hankuk University of Foreign Studies. I will use the English, although here is the Korean. Well, my topic is started from two questions. First one is how can you improve the human rights issues in North Korea? And the second question is that how can you expand the economic cooperation between Korea and the EU? And then you can make the third question. Then can we combine the two questions? And can we have any solution for the two topics together? So for the purpose, I made the presentation materials. So I want to focus on the Kaesong Industrial Complex, very near to the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone. It is a symbol of the two Koreas. And then I think that maybe the economic cooperation between South Korea and the European Union may make some positive influence to the development of Kaesong Industrial Complex and improvement of human rights in North Korea. So I will speed up my presentation. Well, I have to explain about the main concept of Kaesong Industrial Complex. Kaesong Industrial Complex is a symbol of the two Korea's economic cooperation. Since 2000, I think, South Korean government and the North Korean government, they made the economic cooperation project. And they made economic specialized zone, that is Kaesong Industrial Complex. Near the Kaesong City, they made specialized industrial park. And the South Korean government and the South Korean companies, they invested lots of money there. And the North Korean government, they provide the labor powers and the other factories. And then many factories in there, they started to produce the goods. And then the product, they imported to the South Korea market. And many South Korean people, they started to consume the product, and it made the profit to the North Korean laborers and the South Korean company. That is a major concept of the Kaesong Industrial Complex. Let's go to the page 55 of our booklet. However, the Kaesong Industrial Complex, it met kind of a political problems. As we know, the previous South Korean government made some problems with the North Korean government. Of course, North Korean government also has political problems. They changed the leaders, and South Korea as well. And then the Kaesong Industrial Complex project had some kind of problems. They stopped for about half years, and then as we know, this summer they started again the project. So this year, I think this season is quite important for the future direction of the Kaesong Industrial Complex. The South Korean government, President Park, she made a new direction or policy for the Kaesong Industrial Complex. The thing is that South Korean government, they will make the Kaesong Industrial Complex more globalized status. Then, that is, for example, if the European companies invested in the Kaesong Industrial Complex, or Japanese companies, or maybe Chinese companies, they invested to the Kaesong Industrial Complex, then North Korean government or North Korean the power cannot stop their project the one direction. That is the main reason of the globalization project or policy on the Kaesong Industrial Complex. Then, I hope that the Kaesong Industrial Complex, the industrial complex can be globalized in the future. And then I hope that also, I believe that those kind of changes of policies of South Korea, Kaesong Industrial Complex, may make quite a positive influence to the human rights issues in North Korea, or at least the Kaesong Industrial Complex. Well, as I said in the booklet, there's so many human rights problems in North Korea or Kaesong Industrial Complex. For example, the laborers, they have the serious problems in the labor environment. And then many international organizations criticize on the problem in the Kaesong Industrial Complex or North Korea. So to improve these things, globalization policy can be useful, I think. Well, let's go to the page 57. That is the Korea-EU economic cooperation and the FTA issue. Well, I think on the other hand, South Korea, they are expanding the economic cooperation with the European Union. Korea, EU FTA is the symbol of the economic cooperation between two parties. And then recently we watched the improvement or expansion of the economic cooperation between two parties. But the thing is that we can see the special point in the FTA, not just for the Korea-EU FTA. Except Korea-Chile FTA, many Korean FTA has special provisions on the Kaesong Industrial Complex. The main frame is that with the FTAs, South Korean products will be treated as with a special or a favored treatment, such as 0% of tariff rate. Well, it should be very important, very good for the export of South Korean products. However, if we imagine that, if the product from Kaesong Industrial Complex, if they can receive the similar special treatment from the Korean FTA partner, then South Korean companies, they can sell their product even though it is made in North Korea, the Kaesong Industrial Complex, based on the special treatment by their FTAs. Yes, of course, the many Korean FTA, they provide those kind of special treatment. Then my idea is that if we use these points more effectively, more positively, then we can make more profit for the Kaesong Industrial Complex, and then with that, we can expect some kind of possibilities of improvement of human rights in Kaesong Industrial Complex or North Korea. The provisions, the special treatment for Kaesong Industrial Complex product in the Korean FTAs are very different each other. And I want to explain about the one point in the Korea-EU FTA. Korea EU FTA, they also provide the special treatment for the Kaesong Industrial Complex. The main frame is that two parties, they will make a special committee or special council, and then the committee will decide in the near future, whether they will provide the special treatment to the product from Kaesong Industrial Complex or not. The main frame is quite similar to the Korea-US FTA. Comparing to the other Korean FTA, it is very difficult to receive the special treatment for the Kaesong Industrial Complex product. However, at least there's some possibility to receive the special treatment. So, if we use these special provisions, we can expand economic cooperation between Korea and EU, and the more profit for the Kaesong Industrial Complex. But the thing is that EU always they think about the human rights issues or labor environment and their partners. So to enjoy the special treatment by the Korea-EU FTA, the Kaesong Industrial Complex, they must improve the labor environment or human rights in the complex. That is the problem. So let's get back to the globalization policy of South Korea. If South Korean government wants to globalize the industrial complex, then South Korean government must provide something for the Kaesong Industrial Complex. And then I received some kind of hint from the Korean ODA concept. ODA means Official Development Assistance by the government. So recently, in the international stages, international society, South Korean government, they really focus on the ODA issues. They try to help the other countries. But the thing is that South Korean government, for a long time, they had divided the ODA issues and the North and South Korean relations. Of course, South Korean government, they help North Korea for many ways, but it is not by the ODA aspect. According to the South Korean law and the constitution, South Korean government must distinguish South-North relations and the ODA issues. But I want to suggest that we can combine the two things. If South Korean government see or treat the North Korea or North Korean government as their partners of their ODA, then South Korean government can do something more than before with the ODA basis. That is based on the concept of humanism. So, to globalize the North Korean or Kaesong Industrial Complex, South Korean government, they must think about the ODA concept for the North Korea. And then also with the globalization policies of Kaesong Industrial Complex, they can consider the economic cooperation with other FTA partners such as the EU. And the point is that the EU always think about the human rights issues and the labor environment. So to do that, for the purpose, South Korea and North Korea, they must improve the human rights and the labor environment in the Kaesong Industrial Complex or North Korea. Well, so those kind of points may provide some kind of possibility of the combination of the several policies. at the moment, it's still very ambiguous to solve these problems. But if we consider those kind of factors, which I suggest, then we can make some clues for the improvement of North Korean human rights issues, maybe, and the economic cooperation, expansion of the economic cooperation between South Korea and the EU or other their FTA partners. Okay, that's it for me.